yeah, I'm not sure about this, but I was responding to the FD video or whatever, and I was trying to understand. He said something about Iverson, and then I didn't understand. Like, it seemed like it was some reference that everyone knows about, because he said, like, he was using it like this term and like the Will Smith slap or something. Like, if I say that, you know what I'm talking about. Like, I was the Will Smith slap for Halloween, right? But like, so we know what I'm talking about. But he was talking about the Iverson practice or something. So I just went to look it up, and I feel like this is one of those like cross cultural communication moments, and also this is like girl moment. I just want to really explain, if there are still any black men here at all, girls, most of them don't watch sports. It's not a thing. Like, so there's that one hot soccer player that like we all know. I can't even remember his name, but like if I see him, I'll know the one, right? But like besides him, nobody's like tap. I don't know. If you're a girl who's in girl world, you're not tapping in to know the sports players. Like, I don't have any. There's some girls who are, I guess, if their dads get them box seats, but it's not the like sports are dude territory. I don't know how to explain it. It's not. Ask a girl about some fashion, bitch. Ask her what Carisha did or something, or like what Rihanna said yesterday. That like we can talk about that shit all day, okay? But like, yeah. So I didn't know this reference, but I think it's important or something from the culture. So this is what my interpretation of why this is significant, in case anyone else didn't know what this was. So we talking about practice. When humanity clashes with performance culture. Allen Iverson's infamous practice rant has lived in cultural memory as a meme, a soundbite, and a shorthand for defiance. But behind the viral clip was something deeper: grief, frustration, and the constant dehumanization of Black elites, particularly Black men. What Iverson said wasn't just about missing basketball drills. It was about the absurdity of being expected to show up for practice while burying someone you loved. That tension between being a performer and being a person is what made the moment so powerful and so misunderstood. Iverson was a grown man navigating life and loss. One of his closest friends had died. And yet, rather than offer space or compassion, the media and the NBA leadership were fixated on whether he had skipped practice, not a game, as he famously repeated, not a game where the team depends on you, but practice. The expectation wasn't just that he show up physically, but emotionally, performatively, without interruption or pause for real life. That's not an expectation placed equally on all people. The racial dimension here matters. Black men in America, especially in high profile, high money professions like the NBA, are routinely expected to be workhorses, strong, durable, emotionless, and grateful. You're expected to shut up and play. Um, you don't get to be complicated. You don't get to grieve. You don't get to crack. It's the subtext behind why Iverson was being grilled about missing practice after a funeral. There was a denial of his humanity that happens often in sports media, and especially in Black male celebrity coverage. The entire incident revealed a system that demands performance over personhood. Iverson had lost someone he loved. He showed up to a press conference and was met with criticism instead of compassion. He wasn't even asking for sympathy. He just wanted people to understand that life happens even to NBA stars. And that life, with all its loss and heaviness, sometimes outweighs a scheduled workout. The public backlash to Iverson's rant, which has since become a meme, conveniently ignores the pain behind it. Instead, it gets flattened into a joke. We talking about practice became a shorthand for someone not taking something seriously. But what Iverson was challenging was not the importance of preparation, it was the unrealistic expectation that he suppress grief to be a good employee. That's what the rant was about. not shrinking responsibility, but confronting the system's refusal to allow him to be human. And the sad irony is, as noted in the comments under that video, Iverson was attending his friend's funeral, a fact that media outlets conveniently left out when framing him as immature or rebellious. What does it say about our society when attending a funeral is framed as being unprofessional? That tells us everything about how the humanity of Black men, especially those who don't fit clean cut corporate molds, is erased. We don't scrutinize white aesthetics or CEOs for taking mental health days or attending family events. But Iverson's dreadlocks, tattoos, and street style made him a threat to the NBA's image of respectability. His rant wasn't just about a single missed practice, it was a challenge to the system itself, to a culture that sees Black athletes as property first and people second. In the end, Iverson's practice moment was never about basketball. It was about Black labor, grief, masculinity, and the right to be human without having to ask permission. The fact that this moment went viral while erasing the context of his friend's death shows exactly why he was angry. His legacy deserves more than a punchline, it deserves understanding. I never knew of that moment and I've never seen that meme, so I don't know. I think that's wild. Why are so many Black men interpreting their feelings about society through sports conversations happening at an interview? Like life happens all day long, 24/7. Shit is going on. And you can't I've learned this because I'm a big compartmentalization person. But like, no matter what I do have to show up as Black ass Olivia everywhere I go. So there's just some things that kind of come out anyway, even when you try to kind of hide them a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's interesting that that moment is the one that maybe it's just because there's so little representation in terms of like Black men in society. So the athlete is the only one who's saying anything. I don't know. A million Black men have jobs and work and stuff. So clearly somebody else has gone through this before, but the whole community is unpacking real life responsibility and sick days through an Iverson talk. I don't know. It's interesting. Like I said, I'm not a Black male, so I couldn't understand. I'm glad the cross cultural communication I appreciate because yeah, I missed that. Never heard of that before.